Weekend was good. I'm going to tell you right now, and I know that you saw the show, I believe. I went and saw the Barbie show for some reason.
You went and saw Barbie too?
I'm going to be honest with you. I went and saw Barbie. We had Mexican food, and then they said, will you go see Barbie? I said, absolutely not. And then I started saying, you know what, I'll go. I'll go with you. I sat there. Let's be honest, Sierra. I sat there for 20 minutes, and it was one of these reclinable, movie theater things. So you got the show lounge chair, and I ordered me a chocolate milkshake, and I was sitting there watching, and I watched for 20 minutes. I looked at my wife. I said, when is it supposed to get good? And so then I took my hat, and I put it over my eyes, and I went to bed. So I fell asleep after 20 minutes. But it's not my style. It's not my style. I couldn't get into it. I didn't understand. A lot of singing, a lot of pretty colors, all that stuff. But it wasn't me. What'd you think?
He was trying for a proud dad moment right there to be a super dad, but it just didn't work out. Sierra, did you do the Barbenheimer where you did Barbie and Oppenheimer?
No, I didn't. You're the second person to ask me that. I actually took myself to go see Barbie because, I wasn't going to wait around for anyone to go with me, so I went to a 10:45 showing. There was only one good seat left. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but it was definitely it was a deep commentary on feminism and male fragility. So I wonder why you didn't like it, Kev.
Yeah, I didn't understand
missed it.
I got in the second row. So I was watching it like this. I felt like I was in the movie. Like, you want to get back a little bit, but we only had a couple good seats left. And I don't even know.
You guys were at Barbie. You guys were at the Barbie movie, and I was at Willie Nelson. So, hey, that's how it goes.
I think we probably...
Smoke's still on your hair.
Let's get this show underway. A big weekend for the O's and Barbie at the box office. They took 3 of 4 from the Rays in St. Pete. They've won 12 of their last 15. Baltimore coming into their series with the Phillies with a 2-game lead in the AL East. Meanwhile, the Phils snapped a 4-game losing streak and are one of 5 teams within 1 game of each other for 3 NL wildcard spots. So, Kev, which team is better poised to make a deep playoff run?
I think we're in a changing of the guards. Not taking anything away from this Phillies club because I love that boys club chemistry they got. The run they went on last year, similar to this year. They're a team that's very dangerous with that starting pitching with Nola and Wheeler at the top. Sanchez, I understand all that. But let me just tell you something. The Orioles are here. And they're here, and they're good. And the reason why they're good, they win ball games at the back end. You don't want to see Batista. I'm going to tell you that right now. Him on the mound, he looks like I think his nickname's the Mountain. And him on that mound looks like a mountain. So when you're talking about a club, they got some youth. They got power arms in the bullpen. They got enough starting pitching to kind of get by to where they're at right now. And we're all saying, oh, yeah, we can always add a pitcher. They're 61 and 38. So you're looking at a club that's very dangerous, very good, and very poised to go into the postseason with a deep run because of those arms. They have prospects galore coming all up. Tip your hat to the draft party they've had because the scouting department doesn't get enough credit in Major League Baseball. And when you got a scouting department that goes out and doesn't miss, and now they can help you at the big league level, and they start helping you fast. I mean, we know Holloway got drafted first pick last year. He already went up to Double-A, hit a home run. He's a guy that's on things. So they have all these young kids come up and help them at the big league level. That's when you become good. Now you can add. They can go out and get a starting pitcher here in a couple weeks. They're going to go out and add something, but this isn't a fake club, so I think the Orioles are the team that's built to go a long time in the postseason.
How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I was looking at them and I was trying to think, who do they remind me of team-wise, this development-wise, and it started to remind me a little bit of kind of the Kansas City Royals in 2015. Just that 2014-2015 when they lost the Giants in the World Series and come back and win the next year. And the reason I say that is those guys thump. These guys swing the bats. Like, I watched that game against McClanahan, and, it's a tie game, and all of a sudden it's like double, 5-0, just like that. It happens fast. They come at you from both sides of the plate, and then they have all these young players, and then they pitch just well enough in the starting rotation. Like, it doesn't blow you away. Kyle Gibson's year's kind of been just a little bit average, but then you look at what Wells has done. He did it again yesterday, and then you go down the line, and Kremer throwing today 10-4, higher ERA, but pitching well enough to win. And the reason I say that reminds me of the Orioles a little, because once you get to the back end of this bullpen and you have a lead in the 7th inning, I mean, it's all but over between Cano and Bautista and whoever else they bring in. They're loaded there. And so there is this changing of the guard. We're seeing something that we've been waiting for, the hit of prospects, evolving as they get to the big leagues. It started with Adley Rutschman when he came up last year. And you just go down their lineup. They're deep. Then they're having fun, and they believe. Like, there's no more, like, I wonder if we're good enough. I wonder if we can hang with every. Nope, they know. They know they belong in first place. I mean, this is going to be a battle down the stretch, and it's really fun to see kind of this evolution happen with the Orioles and turn into the team they've become right now.
O's got that sauce. O's and Phillies tonight at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. NTT Ballpark Cam taking us to Minute Maid for the Lone Star Series. So if the Astros get the sweep of this three-game set, they will snag the top spot from the Rangers in the AL West. Houston has taken 4 out of the 7 games they've played so far. And this season series carries a lot of weight, guys, right? Because the head-to-head results would be the tiebreaker at the very end of the season. So, Ryan, is this the week the AL West flips in favor of the Stros?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be hard to sweep a team like the Rangers. But that being said, I mean, look how their pitching lines up. You look at what Bielak's been able to do, with his 3.46 ERA. You got J.P. France has got a 3.1. Framber Valdez. So your starting pitching is lined up to be able to go out there and dominate a series. Alec Bregman is hot his last 7 games. Kyle Tucker's hitting over 400 his last 21 games, last 3 weeks. So, and they might get Yordan Alvarez back, but it's just so hard. I mean, Texas has been so good, and this is a series too, and Kevin, you know this, the Astros had their way with the Rangers for a long time, for about an 8-year stretch, and now all of a sudden here comes Texas with the Bochy-led ball club, and they're really good. I mean, top to bottom, their lineup, I mean, I know they're missing Seager right now, but I think it's going to be really hard, Sierra, for them to sweep the Rangers.
Yeah, and when we're talking about this, these are 2 good ball clubs, right? The Rangers are a good ball club also. The Astros have the experience factor of this club. Dusty Baker, they're already World Series champion, the nucleus of these guys. Now Yordan gets back here in this series, hopefully. He's played 3 rehab starts down in Sugar Land. So that big bat they've been missing with this oblique, now you can go and implement him right back in that line with now, like you just nailed it, Bregman's hot. Tucker's been hot for over 20-plus games. So now you go like, okay, they still don't have Altuve. This has still been a team that's kind of been battling. Got a ton of injuries early on with their starting rotation. Still have Framber Valdez, who's the most underrated starter in the big leagues, and he'll pitch the 3rd game of this series. So it's important to go out there and look at these series like this. Let's go win the game tonight. We can talk about if they sweep. Is this a flip of the guards? Listen, you're not going to go in and sweep the Texas Rangers. You can't think of it like that. Let's go win the game tonight. And let's go win the game tomorrow night. And then we go out and look up, and Nelson, you got Framber. Now, if you're the Rangers, you got John Gray on the mound. So now he's back. You're like, okay, this is a guy that sets the tone for the Rangers because their look is, hey, this is the Astros. This has been the beast in this West in the American League. It's like if you're in the National League West when you're playing the Dodgers, regardless of when or where they're at in the standings, they've been the dominating force. And they've been in this postseason for the last 6 years, the Astros. So the Rangers need to kind of make a stance in this series, and they got to be thinking that also. It's time to win the game tonight, and let's set this tone because we have been dominated. I think 28 out of 38 games the Astros have won from 2020-21 season or 21-22 season. Now it's time for them to make a stance to go, yeah, we believe the Orioles just did it 3 out of 4 with Tampa, right? Remember Tampa was 29-7 or whatever their record was, and then they've been that team, and now you know what? It shows some confidence. So that's why the Orioles are like, yeah, we're just as good, if not one of the best teams in the biggest. We believe that, not just our numbers and our record and our standings. So it's going to be a great series.
Yeah, a Yordan Alvarez return would be huge. He has not played in the majors since June 17th. NTT Ballpark Cam turned on at American Family Field. See that guy in the white shirt right there? Look familiar?
Yep.
It's Adam Jones, former Oriole.
Okay. Showered with him.
I know you have. I know you have. I knew you'd
Thank
be
you.
excited to see it. The Reds and Brewers are linking up for their final series of the season. Kind of hard to believe when you think about it. So the first place in the NL Central is on the line. Milwaukee has a slim half-game lead over Cincy. So, Kev, what is the biggest storyline from this Reds-Brewers series apart from you showering with Adam Jones?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, the Brewers, once again, it's another organization that's dominated the Reds, right? This series, this situation, they've dominated. So when you're looking at Yelich is back, we know the starting pitching for the Brewers has been phenomenal. Overall, the Brewers have allowed 29 total runs in 10 games against the Reds this year, which is a 2.77 ERA. Now, this is another series we're talking about. As the Cincinnati Reds rolling in, they have the 6-game lose streak. You have your 5-game win streak. Ellie De La Cruz was 2 for 30-something. Matt McClain's been unbelievable for this club. So now this is the time. It's time to go ahead and dig in, right? We're digging in on a big series, our last series of the year. So this is a time to dig in, and I love these big game series in July. There's a lot of baseball left, but these are big game series right here when you're facing the first place club and you're right on the heels of that. So this will be a fun series to watch. I'm going to lock in on this one.
Yeah, I just look at the fact, too, like they've won 8 of 10 against the Reds, and the Reds are a very good ball club. Tells me they got a great scouting report, and on top of that, they're executing. Like, their pitchers have pitched so well against this lineup. They've been hitting their spots. They've had a good approaches against their hitters because they've been able to keep them at bay. And I look at Graham Ashcraft. Like, you look at his numbers on the season, they don't look very good, right? 5-7 with a 5.77 ERA. But his last 4 starts, he's been dealing ever since he missed that little time with his calf injury. He had a chance to kind of reset both physically and mentally. He's got a 1.8 over his last 4 starts. And I know what I'm looking forward to. Tomorrow night, watching your guy, Andrew Abbott. That's Kevin's NL Rookie Pitcher of the Year, his pick. Going against Corbin Burns. And we remember what happened last time Corbin Burns went against these guys. He almost passed out on the mound, had some lightheadedness, and goes out there and strikes out 13. So to me, I mean, it's going to be a great series all around, but I can't wait till tomorrow night to watch that pitching matchup of those 2 studs going out there. This is going to be a good series, and their last series together. They don't face each other the rest of the year. So, you know, there's going to be a ton of energy. That place is going to be electric in Milwaukee. The Reds fans will travel. They'll be there, so this is going to be fun.
Reds go in for their 6th straight win. A Hall of Fame ceremony was over the weekend, guys, in which we saw Scott Rowland and Fred McGriff get inducted. But check out the photo from the luncheon. Straight legends just posted up. So my question for you guys, Ryan, who would you want to be seated next to at this little lunch with, you know?
Yeah, well, bottom line is I'd have to sit next to Larry Walker, right? And so then I had to choose, do I go between him and Jim Thome or him and Cal Ripken? And I'd see Jim Thome a lot, so I want to sit next to the Iron Man right there. I'm going to wear the same onesie, the little penny I had for the race and everything in Boston. I'd put myself right between Larry Walker and Cal, and we can tell them all about ketchup chips and poutine up there in Canada.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and talk with Griffey because once this COVID thing happened, he joined 3 extra clubs, and one of those clubs are the Grove 23, Michael Jordan's place down there in Jupiter, and then you got Crime Dog. I'm going to sit right in the middle of Crime Dog and Griff. Crime Dog loves golf, so I'm going to be talking golf. Chipper likes golf, so maybe I can kind of whisper over there. Frank Thomas, Big Hurt, hasn't picked up golf. We got Eddie Murray. What a great table there. All of them, though, just to be at that table. I knew Dempy was going to say Larry Walker, because it's a fellow Canuck.